Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Weigh the good with the bad. It's time for pros and cons.
It's pros and cons time.
All right, simple game. Pro or con? We're gonna throw 10 at you. You guys just need to tell us if you like it or you don't like it. And
Jonesy looks nervous.
really,
Up for this one.
this is about as hard hitting as
Yeah.
we get. So, and then we'll just elaborate.
Yes. So you answer either pro or con, whether you like it or not, and then we can talk some shit about that topic.
First one.
This is what you wanted to. This is what you wanted to talk
Perfect.
some shit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. First one is TikTok.
Pro.
Con.
Ooh.
Oh, there's difference here. All right. Why do you like it?
Oh, it's just funny.
Harry said pro.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
listening,
Harry. Yeah.
Harry was the pro.
I reckon it's just the funniest social media platform. Like I could scroll, like as bad as you scroll through it for
Yep.
a while, but
Pretty addictive.
yeah.
How many
But
hours would you spend a night scrolling through? You reckon?
Half an hour. Me and Will Snelling,
Yep.
we sit on the couch together and like scroll through and just in hysterics, like showing each other TikToks.
Are you a TikTok maker?
I made
Creator?
3 TikToks and they got famous.
Yeah, they did. They got famous.
How many views?
We need to see
I
this.
had 100.
We need to see
Like,
it.
they got like
Let's have a
40K
look. I'm
likes.
pulling it up
You know what
now.
you just did right then? You just did the promo line. That's it.
And they got famous.
Yeah, and they got famous, and then it's going to be us
And then we're
cutting
gonna show
to the TikTok video.
Let's find it. Watch that with Harry.
That's exactly the
No,
promo
it's
line
not
for
Harry,
the
it's
show.
not Harry. I'll get it up. Yeah, one's got 80K views, 233K views,
233,000
and then
views.
51.
That's unbelievable. What's
Maybe
the
we need.
233?
We'll send
Okay.
you the promo for this. You chuck it on.
Yeah, I can chuck it on that.
Nah, it's sort of like, I don't know, they're like the worst TikToks ever. They're not that good. They're just, one of them Brizes.
Can you tell us, is it good, Daniel?
I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. To be honest. I don't really
233,000?
understand TikTok enough. I'm 33 years old.
233,000 one was Brizer going, how the fuck does uni work? And like,
Oh,
I'm like
okay.
That's
videoing.
pretty funny.
Okay, so
And
it's
like
cracking at you.
people, yeah, sort of like
Well, there
caught
you
onto
go.
that.
All right.
But
All right, and con for
Yeah,
you.
why you were
Con.
con.
I had to delete it because I was wasting way too much time on it. Like same thing. Like it's good to like sucks you in, like because it is pretty funny. And
Yeah.
also, I live with Ned Carl obviously, and he's like obsessed with it.
The
Like,
TikTok
that's all,
king.
Yeah, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Zachary refused to make TikTok for anything we do for promo. Flat out said, "No, I'm never doing it ever." And as deadpan as you get, I'm never doing it.
I'm just struggling to adopt it, but I might eventually.
We'll
one day.
choreograph a dance. We'll do something.
Yeah, we might eventually one day. Once I leave the locker
All right.
room and don't have to cop shit the next day, I might. That's it.
Number 2. Let's
Number
go.
2. All right. You blokes will love this. Simulation theory.
Pro.
Ooh. All right. Let's explain simulation theory for those who don't understand.
Yes.
You guys seem to be all over this. Let's do
there
it.
you go.
It's basically the theory that everything, like the reality around us, is a simulation. Basically, like a big computer simulation.
You know, listen to Joe Rogan when you're into simulation theory.
Is he all about it? Is he?
Oh, there's a fair few conversations about it. I think the last time, I don't know who, I can't remember who it was. The last time I listened about simulation theory, they said someone really smart said the odds of it being a simulation.
Elon Musk.
Was it Elon
Yeah.
Musk? Was it? Yeah.
That's the one we listened to on the way to Robe. So this is all. Okay,
Yeah,
so
keep going.
I'll elaborate. So
yeah.
we came to you and we're like, yeah, you got a podcast. We're talking about simulation theory.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, because we went to Robe for New Year's and it was just me and him who drove, like 8-hour drive. And it was sort of like, oh, what are we going to listen to? Like we just talk shit for the first couple of hours and we chucked on a Joe Rogan podcast, him and Elon Musk talking about simulation theory. And like, we like took it like next 2 hours, we was like sitting there, didn't say a word, listening. And then like half an hour after it, we're like, has to be real. We're like rattled.
So the idea, David,
Yeah.
is that we're all actually living in the simulation.
It's like the
not
Sims.
real life.
Like the Sims, the game, pretty much.
No.
No, that's
No?
Not really.
It's the worst.
Missed the mark.
Like,
Well, I don't know, but that's a simulated game.
that is, you're right. It was called The Sims.
It's called The Sims,
you
exactly.
found one correlation
Yeah.
to simulation.
There you go.
Well, yeah, I think
So everything's already played out.
I think the idea is that,
Well, yeah. So what I think the most is like, well, it's just like a rough thing. Like
Yeah.
we talk about it just loosely. It's like we're in this life, so it's simulation, but we go through it and then we wake up and whatever wrongs we did in this life, like we learn and then we go live in the world.
Oh, okay.
The real world.
It's a prep.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is that like, robots or advanced humans in the future have created a simulation for us all to live in rather than really living. Like
Yep,
the Matrix.
Yep.
Right? That's a
Yeah.
bit closer to what it is, more like the Matrix. And then maybe that just happens a billion times over and over until they figure out why the hell we destroyed the world in 100 years time.
So they
we're actually living in the past, in the present, future.
So they knew, you saying, Jordan, they knew we're going to do this podcast right now.
Well, in theory, they could have. I don't know how much of it I actually believe. I just think it's a very interesting theory, and it's cool to think about. But I don't know what I actually think is true. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a pro.
That's definitely
On
a
that.
pro from you too. I love that.
All right, the next one. Standing on the mark rule. You won't get in trouble. So you're going to say silence.
This doesn't go out
Very
well.
good.
As a defender, can't.
Yeah.
Con, okay.
Yeah, as a forward pro.
Right, interesting.
Yeah. So why is that? Elaborate.
Oh, it's just,
People.
there's so much. So like normally you're allowed to move. This like now you're just allowed to stand there. So like there's the amount of lanes for the kicker opens up. Like
Yep.
it's just easier to get the ball, I guess.
Yep.
As a forward.
And that's the same reason as why it's a negative.
Yeah,
So
exact
easy.
opposite. It's so much easier for them to like get a clear path inside 50 and get a unpressured kick in there.
Yeah.
Just obviously, a lot of the time with the AFL player who's a good kick, you're not going to be able to do much if it's unpressured.
So have you noticed the difference already? What are we in? 3 rounds in?
2 rounds in.
2 rounds in. 3 coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I think in some circumstances, yeah, but overall, I don't think it's made a massive difference. Yeah.
Have you got caught yet in terms of like you've had to stand on it and you go, oh shit, I can't move? Yeah. Every time.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the one against Port Adelaide? So Cale Hooker in a marking contest, and he hurt his hand, and he was jumping around on the mark because when your hand's sore, you jump around because you're in pain or whatever. The umpire gave him a 50 meter against him because he's in pain. He had no impact on the bloke who's taking the kick. He was actually just jumping because he hurt his hand.
Well, it's kind of weird because isn't the interpretation that if they tell you to stand still, you stand still, but if they don't tell you to stand still, you can kind of jump around a bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Until
Yeah.
they say stand, you have to be like,
Yeah, if they stand, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can change. I don't understand how you can change the interpretation of the rule in an instant like that. That's ridiculous.
Based on what someone says.
Yeah, yeah,
You're saying
it's
that?
ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's the rule or it isn't the rule.
Out of us three, you're the one that can say it.
I'm allowed to
it's
say that. And I'm
ridiculous.
going to say it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I don't mind the rule itself, whatever. Like if it's going to open the game up or whatever. But the interpretation of the rule is quite ridiculous.
Quite ridiculous.
You didn't say that.
No,
said
you
that.
did that.
Yeah, that was me that said
Yeah.
that.
Perfect. We'll go with that one. All right, that's 3. Number 4 is, and you guys love your movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully you know this. The Snyder Cut.
pro. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's unbelievable.
Oh, yep.
Never heard of it, so
Great.
yeah,
David
on the
didn't know what it
fence.
was. I haven't seen it yet either, but I've heard good things. I put it in there just because it was.
So what is it
relevant
for
to
our
last week.
audience?
Well, Justice League was made DC comic movie with Batman, Superman, all that stuff. It was made originally by this guy Snyder,
Yeah.
but then he had to pull out because of some family stuff, and then they replaced him, but then they changed the whole film. And then no one was happy about that. So then he came in and re-edited the whole thing.
Yep.
4-hour edit they've dropped. It's taken like 3 or 4 years. That movie didn't do very well originally.
So is it a 4-hour movie?
I think it's 4 hours. Yeah.
I might have to get binge and just watch it.
Yeah, I literally got binge last week just to get, but I haven't watched it yet.
So it's tipping that it's good. You're saying it's
I've heard good things.
Yeah, the reviews on it are like, this is so much better than the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've gone 4 hours. I mean, you hope it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a complete flip on whatever they did originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Married at First Sight, maths.
Con.
I would have. I used to be a pro, but now it's a con. Yeah.
Do you currently still watch it?
Nah, I can't watch it anymore. It's too much of the same, like just drama. Like I watched the first like probably 2 or 3 years ago. I used to like religiously watch it, but not anymore.
Brilliant. Love that.
I can't watch this.
You can't watch it?
No,
I can't watch it either.
It's poison. I can't do it. It's literally poison.
My housemates
To
and
brain.
my housemates and I tried to, like for the first 2 weeks, watched it. Because just so we could do something, have dinner and then watch maths at 7 o'clock or 7:30 or whatever, just to do something together. And then it got to like 2 weeks in and then uni started and now my other housemates always out like one night, and then it just gone. So we haven't watched it in about 3 weeks. But the first 2 weeks, you love it because of the drama, though, don't you?
Just gives me anxiety.
You're just cringy. Like you watch it, like no,
It's also like, I
don't.
mean, I'm a bit too behind the scenes in that space, but like it's so set up, a lot of it, the drama, the people they put together, it's borderline. We're getting close to the point where they bring in like literal sociopaths if they haven't already, and something's gonna go bad eventually, because their whole gig is to bring in people that are going to clash, because that's what's going to get the ratings.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't.
No, yeah, well,
But people obviously love it. I think it's the number one show. So there you go.
They do. All right. Number 6 is the Brooklyn Nets.
Con right now.
I don't watch enough basketball. Yeah. But pro because they look good.
Pro because they look good? Yeah. All right. Jordan, come on. You're the basketball guru here.
Look, the more players I see them sign, the flatter I get. Like, it's just like I do think it's ruining the NBA a bit. Like they've literally stacked their team with like 6 All-Stars now and 3 or 2 former MVPs. Like,
it's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
All to beat LeBron too. Which
the thing I hate at the moment is Stephen A. Smith put on his Instagram yesterday, I blame LeBron for this. And it's like, well, how can you blame LeBron? Didn't start the super teams.
Nah.
KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen got together in 2007 or whatever it is, 8, and created a super team. So how is this LeBron's fault? Everyone just looks to blame LeBron.
It's probably LeBron's fault
for a
because
super
everyone
team.
needs to try to beat him.
But back in the original early
I know.
2000s, Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, Karl Malone came together to try and create a super team, which flunked, but that's what they try to do. And then it's happened forever, but then they come out and blame LeBron.
We could argue even Michael Jordan had a super team with Pippen and
Yeah.
Rodman. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
same thing.
Yeah, they got Rodman to
right.
come in. Yeah.
Or Shaq jumped teams all the time to try to create his own super team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's ridiculous, but I agree with you. Brooklyn Nets, it's a big con. It's not good for the NBA. It's good when it's like 3 on a team that create, because someone had to counteract the Warriors and now someone had to counteract the Lakers, whatever. But fine if it was Irving, Durant, and Jordan was on there originally or whatever, DeAndre Jordan, that kind of thing. Like that's a good like matchup comparison, whatever. Yeah. Then you're getting Harden, then you're getting Blake Griffin. It's now just getting ridiculous.
Aldridge.
Yeah, Aldridge. Yeah, like it's
Yeah, I don't like it because I'm a Bulls fan, and we could at least take one of those players, and we'd be semi-interesting to watch.
Yeah.
There's only like 4 teams you actually can watch now.
You need someone with Zach LaVine.
Yeah. All right.
They got Vucevic the other day. He's
Vucevic,
yeah,
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, Orlando, geez, didn't they blow up their team?
Oh wow.
Just got rid of their whole team. Yeah, we suck. So see you later.
Next one, Francis Ngannou,
UFC watchers, anyone?
pro.
Yeah. He's a beast.
No UFC fan.
Nah, yeah, I'm on the fence here. I don't know.
He just won the UFC heavyweight title. Greatest story in sporting history in my eyes.
Okay, I just got to. You have
Greatest
said
story in
you
sporting
have
history. I
dropped
don't give a
that.
fuck.
So we watched. Okay, we watched on Sunday
Yeah, we
the
went.
UFC heavyweight. Watched it together, and this bloke said that line about 40 times.
I said before, if he, because everyone asks I'm a massive UFC fan. Everyone said, who do you think's going to win? And I said, well, I actually think Stipe Miocic will win, but I would like to see Francis Ngannou win because I think it will be the greatest story in sport. I said that, and then he won, and I said, this is the greatest story in sports. I still say it is the greatest story in sports. He came from Cameroon. He was digging sand when he was 10 years old or something. You should listen to the Joe Rogan. We speak about Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan for 3.5 hours talking about his whole story. It's the most incredible story you will ever hear. It'll be a movie one day. 100%.
Yeah,
he came
to the
from literally
heavyweight,
nothing, illegally found his way to France, wanted to be a boxer, went into a gym and they're like, you should try MMA. And he's like, no, I'm good. And then 4 years later, he's in the UFC. And now he has the heavyweight championship of the world.
Did you watch the fight?
Oh, I didn't watch it, but I was like, followed it. Like, I'm not gonna. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's an interesting story because he's a beast. If you look at him, you're like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, scariest man.
And the way he punches, like his force behind his punches are ridiculous.
Yep.
Like I've watched highlights where I'm like, oh my goodness. Like,
Sends people into orbit. It's just scary, scary man.
That
And then
is-
John Jones, anyone who's a UFC fan, John Jones is lined up now to fight. Who's the greatest of all time in my eyes. Moving up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, and now would have fought for the title against Stipe if he won, and now has Francis in his line. And
So does he have to fight Francis?
Well,
now?
I mean, he doesn't have to do anything, I guess, but
Yeah.
he will fight he'll likely fight for the title because he's the greatest of all time, moving up weight division, left as an undefeated, champion light heavyweight. It's a scary proposition, although he's probably not a scared man. Everyone's saying, oh, he's going to be so scared. I don't know. He's scared. He's the greatest of all time, but I wouldn't want to be across the cage from that beast.
All right, we'll go to the next one. Kind of on the same line.
This is a long
kind of on the
segment,
same
isn't
line.
it?
Yeah, it's great. Kind of on the same line here. YouTubers boxing.
I'm pro.
Oh, massive con.
Okay,
Good. Stand it.
like it.
All right, we'll start with you. Why kind of?
Oh, it's just a bunch of people who can't actually fight properly, talking a lot of shit and carrying on. Like, it's just hard to watch. Like, yeah, watching it makes me angry. Like,
So Nate Robinson got. Oh, not the fuck
he's a 5'9".
I know, and he's never
basketball
boxed
player.
either. It doesn't count. He's a professional athlete. Got sent into orbit himself. But what we got Ben Askren fighting? Is it Jake or Logan Paul? Jake Paul coming up.
So you were pro. He was a pro.
Yeah. So Harry's pro. Why?
Well, because I grew up watching like KSI and Joe Weller started it, I think. So I grew up watching KSI and like
He's a YouTuber,
as
right?
a YouTuber.
Yeah,
So I grew up watching him.
So that was the first Logan Paul
Yeah.
KSI fought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've grown up watching it, and then so if you watch his channel, it's all about that basically. So then I grew up watching that, and then I sort of go for him, and then it sort of escalated to this like TikTok versus YouTube now, which I'm a bit like, what's going on? But I mean, it's a good. I don't know. I guess it's a good platform for them.
I mean, they're making
guess,
bank.
grow.
They're making so much cash. A lot of people watch it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. That's amazing these days how, like, we'll talk about social media and how now it's prevalent in everyone since they're 10 years old. The fact now that you can create money off so many different avenues of it. So you were once a YouTuber or a TikTok, and now you can create a boxing match between two people on two different platforms.
and make more money than like a
make more
professional
money.
who's done it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's the part that annoys me the most, I think, is that there's these professionals who've done it for so long, and then these other guys are just eclipsing them in views and money. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you got to go where the viewers go, right? Like if people make the end decision. And then now there's this crossover. So Ben Askren, who's a former UFC, he won FC Bellator. I think he was a Bellator, but he's a world champ wrestler. He was an Olympian.
Yep.
But he's a wrestler by trade, and is fighting Jake Paul.
I hope he knocks him.
And but Ben Askren's not a boxer, but he's an Olympian.
Yes.
I don't know. I really hope Ben Askren. And now Ben Askren was the guy who got kneed in the face by Jorge Masvidal in the UFC for the fastest knockout in all. Remember that one, right? Like he got knocked.
Just ran up.
So that's what he's unfortunately known for, even though he's one of the greatest athletes of all time, probably. But anyway, whatever. He's now fighting Jake Paul for a lot of money. And the whole MMA world is now forgetting about the knee to the face and going, well, you should knock this guy out for MMA.
That's what the world is, mate. The world is popularity, likes, entertainment.
That's
and
right.
Make money off that at the moment.
All right, two more left. Living with teammates.
Pro.
You both live with two other teammates?
Yep.
Correct. That's correct, yeah.
You lived with teammates for a little while.
I did. Oh, Raz lived.
Raz?
Oh, yeah. Raz lived with me for a bit.
Yeah.
And now he's not there.
Lived with you for like 3 years. Do you want to have a chat about this? Is this a thing?
But why is it a pro?
Oh, it's just for me. It's just good fun. Like I think, for me, like probably living with people that weren't involved with the club, I feel like would be in a bit of a different wavelength to me. But
Yep.
I think it's real easy since sort of we have all have the same schedule, and two blokes I live with are a couple of my best mates, so it's pretty easy.
Perfect.
Yeah, similar to that. Like Meatball and Langers, I don't know, we get along really well. Like
You just like
they're
watching
a bit
TikToks,
older.
don't you?
Like watching TikToks.
Yeah,
but
you and Meatball.
they're a bit older, so it's sort of like I'm the son of the.
You're the son.
Did you have to cook?
Yeah, I cooked last night. Meatball's actually been pretty cut at me, pretty flat, because I didn't know how to cook before I moved in.
Yep.
So I'm still learning. Like we do HelloFresh, but sort of starting to cook now. But yeah, I just love it. Like it's fun. Like
Not
you said.
sponsored, by the way.
No, that was
We'll beat that out.
Yeah, so like you live with them, and it's like Rich said, same sort of schedule, same thing. Like I'm with my other mates, probably, I don't know, they'd be out every Saturday.
Yep.
Whereas we just watch a movie Saturday night. So big.
Out every other Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, last one here. Fly in, fly out.
Con.
Con.
I don't know. We got smashed the first time I've done it, so
Yep.
yeah, not really sure.
Didn't
about it.
enjoy
Con
it.
for you?
Pardon?
Pro or con for you?
It's well, I mean, yeah, disregard of the outcome. It's the first game we had last year was in Sydney. Didn't play well. But it's kind of all right going in and coming back straight back out. Not on a night game though. Night game you want to, I reckon, fly in and then stay and then fly out. But a day game, I think you can just do it.
Well, pros and cons segment down.
Yep.
An hour later.